everybody. This is Annabelle, your friendly neighborhood realtor, and I'm coming at you again so that I can give you the latest and greatest of the December numbers and what they look like. And after looking at this a little bit, my interpretation is that things are getting better. Not great, just better. But look, I'm going to show you what I've got and you can make up your own mind. So here we are. I am displaying the chart for the median home price. As usual, single family homes, any construction type. So it could be a new home or a resale. The median home price did go down, so let's start with that. It went down to 425,000. Let's go to November. Okay, so in November it was 430,990. So if you look at the difference, you're talking about just over $5,000 drop, right? The reason I say it's better than it has been is because in the last couple months, the median home price has felt like it's on a free fall, frankly, on a free fall down and down and down. And it was an aggressive drop month over month, right? So let me go back and show you what I mean by that. When we hit our height in May, June kind of stayed the same, but then look at that drop from June to July. June to July, we were at 480 to 465. That's $15,000 worth of a drop, right? So you can see that difference being so much more aggressive than the just over $5,000 difference that we dropped from November to December. That's why I think we're still going down. The market's still not great, but that median home price seems like it's starting maybe to normalize a little bit. Okay. So I wanted to show you that. Look at that. Look at that. From July to August, it was another 15,000. You see, it was going crazy before. It was dropping very fast. Now, not so much. We can even look at different construction types or property types. So we can look at condos, right? Let's see the difference in condos. Yeah, so it looks like that difference is a little bit more steep. So it looks like condos are definitely taking a harder hit as far as median home price. In November, it was 127,250 down to 211,000, right? So that is a bigger, steeper drop. But when we're looking at single family homes, the difference is not as great. And you can see just by looking at the chart, this is much more subtle than what was going on from the summer going into the fall. Okay, moving on to new listings. That's another really interesting thing that's happening here. So we hit the number or the height of new listings back in June at 5,030, right? So where are we now? 1,819. Down from November when we had 2,234. So we have less inventory that is getting put into the market. We have less new listings, which is also a big deal because while there might be less buyers, yeah, there's also less sellers. There's less supply. Less supply moving, but less supply going in. Okay, let's go ahead and look at pending sales. So, okay. Well, and this is another kind of a sign that things maybe are not leveled out, but like calming down. Oops. Let me close this out. Got it. Okay. So if you look at October to November, closed sales 1,535 to 1,490, and then in December 1,474. It looks like the same amount, almost exactly the same amount of closed sales. So it's nothing crazy is happening. The same amount of houses are selling. It's definitely not as many as there used to be. We're not having more. We're not having less. We're about the same. Okay, days on the market. What's going on with days on the market? Yeah, so we definitely are going up, but not crazy. So in November, we were at 33 days on the market. Now we're at 39. So the houses are sitting for longer, but not the amount of time. Longer is not hugely longer, right? So again, when I compare this to where we were in June, 8 days on the market, 7 days in May, like those are big jumps. When we went from 7 to 29 or 26, those are big jumps. The jumps we're seeing now, not as aggressive, right? From 33 to 39, it's not like the house is sitting that much longer than it was in November. Monthly supply of inventory, let's check that out. Oh. Okay, monthly supply of inventory. Okay, so that looks like from November to December, we went down. In November, we had 3.8 months worth of inventory, and now we have 3.1 months. So that means we have less inventory on the market than we did in November. Again, that makes sense if there's not that many houses going into the market, and the houses that are on the market, they're slowly selling, but they're selling. It makes sense that we're slowly having less supply, less houses to sell, right? So compared to the numbers we had been seeing, I would say from the peak in May to November, this is different. This is feels more moderate. Yes, we're still, trending in a buyer's market. Yes, if you're a buyer, you have leverage that you hadn't had in months and months of, frankly, years. You can negotiate with the right agent, you write your offer, make sure that it's negotiated, make sure that you at least attempt to get closing costs covered, or you attempt to get, maybe make a lower offer. Do what you need to do because you do have leverage, unlike what it was like in the summer, right? And in years prior. But if I was a buyer, this is a good time to buy, right? Because you still have leverage, although it seems to be moderating. And I don't know, maybe in January we'll turn around, but it feels more even than it was back when it felt like we were free falling and the market was just extremely one-sided heading towards the buyers. Now it feels like, yeah, the buyers have the upside, but let's see what happens. Another thing to really take into account and to keep your eyes on as a buyer, keep your eyes on the rates. Because a lot of people, they're looking at those rates and waiting for those rates to fall. So as soon as the rates fall, they're going to want to get out there and potentially buy, right? So as that happens, the market gets more competitive against you because there's more buyers and the rates have been falling. So that's a big one. As inflation gets under control, as they keep having these Fed meetings, and maybe we don't go up any more basis points, or we do go up, but we don't go up as many basis points as we were last year. That was very aggressive. It didn't continue in December. In December, it was more though that rate hike did not go up as much. And if it doesn't continue to go up this year, you might see the overall market and the mortgages reacting and those rates also not going up, right? So really think about that. As the rates get better, more people will go into the market and the market will have more buyers and things will not be as favorable for the buyers. So I would say this is a good time. You've hit kind of like a soft spot between sellers still feeling the need to sell and still feeling the pressure and still inventory sitting on the market a little bit longer than a seller would like it to be. And the rates are also starting to trend down. So this is a very good sweet spot, I would say, between those two things, those two factors for you as a buyer. That's just my 2 cents. And, I'll see you next month. I'll let you know what happens in January. We'll see. All right. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I look forward to hearing from you. And until next time, bye, everybody.